Okay, I'm going to set you a challenge, Manchester United fans. Tell me one player in the last 11 years at Manchester United that has visibly improved as a player. This is the curse of Manchester United. This is the problem at this football club. This is why Ruben Amorim now, over a decade on post Sir Alex Ferguson, is set to fail at Manchester United unless drastic change happens. But then again, it is Ineos, it is the Glazers, and the Glazers being the biggest problem in all of this in the last 10 years are still here and still have the major say on everything that happens at Manchester United. Even Ineos coming in with all their bright ideas, the future of Manchester United, Mission 21, and Manchester United's 150-year celebration and anniversary being the year that United lift the Premier League trophy again. Nobody's convinced by it. Nobody thinks it's going to happen. Their thoughts and their plans for Manchester United, all great on paper, but even they have come in and been hit by the curse of Manchester United. This curse, by the way, is the Glazers. This is, just to put it out there, I'm not going to build up to anything. Everybody knows that the curse of this football club is the Glazer family since they took over at the club. The magician that was Sir Alex Ferguson and how he managed to cover up the Glazer issue was phenomenal. And I think has made Sir Alex Ferguson the greatest manager and some compared to what other clubs have had to deal with and how much money was thrown and how perfect them clubs were run compared to Man United anyway in that time. But even Ineos coming in, they got hit with it straight away. Massive mistakes, making Manchester United fall even further behind. They couldn't handle the situation. You look at what Manchester United have done in the past. 1.6 billion plus spent since Sir Alex Ferguson on players. Absolute crap. Players like Memphis Depay, Marouane Fellaini, Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire, massive money spent, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles. Players like this, you can roll them out. There is a number of players that Manchester United have spent a fortune on that have just completely failed and crumbled at Manchester United. I go back to what I said at the start of the show. Name me one player United have signed that has improved at Manchester United. Name me one player. There isn't any. That's it. I mean, you challenge me and go into it and tell me what you think might have, what player might have actually done better at Manchester United, but it's not there, is it? There is no one. Manchester United are a death sentence to anybody involved in football. Let's look at the manager situation, for instance. You've got what? You've got David Moyes, you've got Louis van Gaal, you've got Jose Mourinho, you've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik ten Hag, and Ruben Amorim. That's six permanent managers in the last 11 years at Manchester United, averaging over every other year a new manager comes into Manchester United on them numbers. Let's not forget the three interim managers as well in Ryan Giggs, Michael Carrick and Ralph Rangnick. So you could effectively say in that dugout at Manchester United there has been 9 failures so far, because that's what it's been. 1.6 billion, 5 trophies. The biggest trophy out of all of them was Jose Mourinho's Europa League trophy, which got United back into the Champions League that year. The next problem on top of that was then the recruitment by Manchester United. How do you spend 1.6 billion over the space of a decade, 10 years, and get worse? How does that happen? The lack of management, the poor quality of professionalism and the ineptitude and the way that Manchester United has been run over the years is there for everybody to see. But how is it actually possible? Even if the Glazers had employed the right people to run the football club, surely Manchester United would have been successful. Was it just that good before that nothing can compare to Sir Alex Ferguson? 1.6 billion. Whichever way you want to say it, and however you want to say it in terms of what the Glazers done, that's a hell of a lot of money and more than anybody else. How are United so far behind? It is absolutely ridiculous right now. Everybody burns at Manchester United. There's one player I could pick out right now, Bruno Fernandes, who's kept a little bit of standard, and that's debatable as well with a lot of this fan base right now, and everyone's turning on Bruno now because of the way he is. He stayed to what he believes in. He stick to the way that he plays. And I just think slowly but surely United just eventually drag players down, drag managers down, convince them that they're going to fail, and in the end they end up leaving, and it ends up costing Manchester United even more money. The amount of money that United have spent on compensation fees for managers after renewing contracts and not seeing out their full deals is astronomical on its own. The amount of failed players that have been at this football club. I just mentioned a few there. You're looking at Jadon Sancho. There's another one. Wasted money. Paul Pogba. There is practically, with them two players there, over £150 million worth of player that really have completely failed Manchester United. Pogba had one good season. Sancho didn't even have one good season. all of the recruitment throughout the years post Sir Alex Ferguson. What happened to Manchester United? Did we just give up when Sir Alex Ferguson left? Did the club just say, look, we're Man United, we're just going to carry on? Nobody's going to succeed at this football club unless massive drastic changes happen. And I've seen what Ineos have done, but in doing the right thing, they have uncovered more of a problem at Manchester United. In that, doing the right thing and putting the right structure in place has upset the balance within the actual current first team squad, and that's where we are in the league right now. Manchester United under Amorim is destined for disaster unless Ineos stick by him and actually give him the right backing in the summer. Because Ruben Amorim will be manager number 6 in no time at all if this doesn't get rectified and Manchester United don't start operating properly. We can see where Ineos are going. We can see what Ruben Amorim is trying to do. But these players, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the coaching is. I don't know what the vibe is around Carrington or what is going on at Manchester United. It is too big a club. Manchester United have become too big for these players to handle. What have Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid got? What have they done? What have they done to make sure that they keep that standard and that level? How have Manchester United, one of the greats in European football, fallen so far? This isn't just a small fall. This is a drastic fall. This is bigger than the Milan giants, Inter Milan and AC Milan, respectively, in time, and fallen away from European football and into the world of, well, it's not complete insignificance, but still, you know what I mean? They were powerhouses in the game. Bayern have always been there. Barca, Real Madrid, they've always competed and always been there. How is it that Manchester United has fallen so far? There's only one answer, and that is the curse of the Glazer family. That is always going to be the solution to trying to figure out what has gone wrong at Manchester United. The way that they have run the football club and allowed the football club to run itself as long as they took their money out and their dividends out. Manchester United have been run like a sham for the last decade, and that's the problem. So no matter who comes in, no matter what changes, no matter how the structure changes, there is this mental attitude to what actually goes on at Manchester United now that is just a destined failure. That's what this football club is. No one will survive it. No one can survive what Manchester United are. It's too powerful. And for everybody to fail in that time, it's just, when you just break it down, every single player, every single manager, every single coach, think of the staff that have come and gone from Manchester United, player and above. For everyone to fail over the last 10 years, there is something fundamentally wrong inside Manchester United, deep within its DNA right now, that nobody can fix. It's going to take time, and I think it's going to take a complete reset, and that is by just accepting where Manchester United are right now. We are trying to act like a big club. United are not big anymore, not on the pitch. We have to start acting like a mid-table team, which we are, and build from there. We're talking about bringing certain players in here and there. United can't fall this far. This is too embarrassing for Manchester United. Look, I'm sorry. Look, it's here. It's happened. So how can you say that United can't fall this far? How can you say that Manchester United cannot go into the market and not buy the best players? They need better quality players. I think we all have to accept that this time has now come, and Manchester United are doomed. If we carry on trying to be Manchester United, we have to change. We have to look at it a completely different way. Because Ruben Amorim right now, he is just banging his head against a brick wall. These players are not good enough. Look at what happens to players when they leave Manchester United. Look at, for instance, just this season alone, Scott McTominay, Antony, now tearing it up at different levels. Yes, it's a lesser level, and it's not the pressure of Manchester United. But that just goes to show that them players were never right for Manchester United. Them players were never the right quality for Manchester United in the first place. And it comes down to lazy recruitment and this football club not being run like a proper giant that it really is. A giant of a football club. And it's embarrassing to where Manchester United are at. But then, just going through it, and I'm just sat there and I'm like, there isn't one. I can't pick out a player. I'm thinking of everybody. I'm thinking, can you say Ahmad? Even he has to do a little bit more now. I just don't see it in anyone. I don't see anyone who's got better. Not since they arrived at the club or made their debut, have they got any better? They all get worse. It's no wonder Manchester United lose money. The proof is there. When the player comes in, yeah, we spent a lot and we spent more than what we should do on these players, but ultimately, it's down to that Manchester United factor and then players not being able to handle the pressure of being in that red shirt. And that is all it is. We let the standards drop. We allowed this club to turn itself into what it is right now, which is a mid-table team. Celebrating corners, slap on the backs when you're clearing the ball and making a save. Honestly, like, if that's what you want to celebrate and that's the way that the world is going right now, then go for it. But it's not the standards that Manchester United used to keep. And yes, you could say there is a bit of dinosaur age sort of mentality and look on things there in how it's been and how it was before. But still, the standards have to stay the same. They have to stay the same. Why are we accepting that this is okay? Do we just have to just drop down, like I said, and go, right, okay, this rebuild has to become a mid-table rebuild, mid-table team rebuild, because that's what United are right now. We're not in Europe. We've fallen out of every competition. We're pretty much on the cusp of a relegation fight. We are what we are right now, which is a poor footballing side. Massive club, crap team. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it until the summer. And the only way that this changes is if Ineos completely wipe the board clean of every single player, apart from the new ones that have just come in. Anybody that's got 2 years experience of Manchester United factor in them need to go. That's it. That's what has to happen right now. The younger players need to take over. Anybody that's been at this football club for more than 2 years now, really, you have to look at them players and go, they've just got taken away by what Manchester United are, and they're not going to survive. It has to be afresh, and we have to build from the academy. We have to bring in the right type of players, but we are not going to be able to bring in them big-name players, and we have to stop trying to act like we can do. We can't. It hasn't worked before. We need to create our legends like we used to do. And yes, it's going down nostalgia road again and the old school United. But look, even when United was successful, what legend of this football club did we actually buy in, ready-made? There's only one player that Manchester United brought in, and that was Robin van Persie. We created Wayne Rooney. Everton started him, but he became the legend and the brilliant world-class player at United. We created Cristiano Ronaldo. We created everybody from within Manchester United. All the legends that have walked out of this door with major careers, all were created by Manchester United. We never brought anybody in as a fix. That's all we have been trying to do for 10 years, and look where it's got us. It's time to wipe the slate clean and start all over again completely. That is the curse that Manchester United is. It needs to be forgotten about. That Manchester United has gone. And the only way we move forward is by creating a new one. We have to start again. And that's it. Get your comments in below, everybody. They're challenging. I don't think you'll be able to pick out one player. Not one player, for me, that has improved in the last 10 years while wearing that Manchester United shirt. Tell me anybody.